First of all, let's pay attention to Sim over here, who's listening intently as well. But how did you first find out about this phenomenon? And
therapy,
did you go through therapy yourself?
Well, I won't say it's therapy. No, I've heard Rashmi, tell this story many times now about her life, and I'm still amazed. And every time I listen to her talk about it, I'm like, oh my God, no, it's like hearing it for the first time. Now, talking about my experience, well, when around 1999 or so, I would say I've had bad times. I went through a divorce at that time, and also at the same time, I lost my job. 1999 wasn't the best time to lose your job. Tough times, and I had 2 kids. I was actually, to a certain extent, I could say, almost depressed. Like, didn't know what to do, what's happening in my life, what am I going to do? I tried all kinds of things. I have to tell you, you go to the crystal shop, you take the aura pictures, you try feng shui, you try, you were willing to try anything. Try anything, hoping that things will work out. You don't know if those things worked out. Maybe those things actually helped, right? But at the same time, by pure coincidence, I went to this talk. A friend invited me, a good friend of mine. And usually I don't attend talks like that. It's like, I have 2 kids, I have to look for a job, I have so many things to do.
And the skepticism involved as well.
And why? No, I didn't know what it was about. That's the thing. I didn't even know what it was about. It's because a good friend of mine said, why don't you just come along? So I said, no. I remember up to the last moment when I was at home, I said, oh, I really don't want to go. What should I tell her? I'll go anyway, because I didn't want to confront her and say, oh no, I don't want to go. So I went anyway, and I'm so glad I went. And she said the same things. She said about her childhood and all those things, and I just started crying. I don't know why, but it was like relief. I was so relieved when I heard her talking, and I immediately arranged for a session the next day. And I remember, during the session, so I was a client. I don't want to call myself a patient because I wasn't really sick or anything like that, but more a client, looking for... I'm looking for myself.
Looking for
a way out, looking for who I truly am, right? What's my purpose in life? So I went, and Rashmi was there with the healers, and they did a session. I didn't know what they were doing, right? I didn't understand. I didn't understand. Okay, do whatever you need to do. And I was just lying down, and I remember this so well, the feeling, right? There was this rush to my head. For different people, it's different. But for me, it was like, I'm a thinker. I think a lot and I worry a lot. There was this rush in my head, and I was like, oh, what's going on? What's going on, right? And the next thing I know, it was gone, and I fell asleep.
You fell asleep?
I fell asleep. The rush was gone. It's like so many millions of thoughts in my head, and suddenly it was just gone. It was blank, and I fell asleep, right? And when I woke up, I remember Rashmi asking me, Sim, what do you want in life? It's like, what do I want? So many things, Usually when somebody asks, I want so many things.
It's like putting a kid in a toy store, telling her what you want, choose what you want.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I said, well, I didn't know what to say, and then she said, you're looking for peace of mind, and I just cried. It's like she knew exactly what I wanted at that point in time, and I wanted peace of mind. And then on top of that, she said, I know what you've been through. And she said, over the last 7 years, I know what you've been through. I think she said 7 years, and it's all gone. It's like, come on, give me a break. You're telling me lying down there,
You felt it, right? You felt.
I felt good.
Better.
I felt better. I felt good. But when somebody tells me, after 1 hour, it's all gone, it's like, okay.
We're cynics.
Yeah, I'm the worst one, because I'm in IT and I've always been in IT.
Technical person.
I'm a technical person, right? And she said,
it must have been very difficult
it's all gone,
for you.
right? It was so difficult. But I wanted to believe it, right? And she said, don't worry, it's all gone. Okay, so then I went home and I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for all the anger and the frustration to come back. Those feelings, it didn't come back. So the next day, where is it? It's like I'm like
And
looking for that feeling, and I'm like looking for it to come back, but it didn't.
And until now.
Until now.
And that's only just one session.
I had one session and I followed up with another one, 2 sessions. For different people, it's different.
And what happens during a session? Could you tell us a little bit more what happens, Rashmi?
First of all, I wanted the whole world to know, I think we should stop running about the future. I think it's a beautiful world about the moment, and I don't know how people don't realize it. And I think the fact that there might be many more Rashmis like me, and I'm sure everybody has a very, very, very clear purpose to deliver. It's just a responsibility.
If you don't mind, a theory that we've been formulating as well. Let's put it this way. We humans look at things and we like to break up time. We like to break it up in days, weeks, hours, minutes, seconds. And when somebody else can actually see time in its entirety, that's a very big advantage, isn't it? You already know that things that happen in your life.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think I would not want to. I don't think I want to know. I'm curious.
I think it's not really advantage. I think it's huge responsibility because you become very humble. You learn that your whole life is about loving other people. And I think I keep telling everyone around me that the more love I give, there's more coming. It's like it's just like a pool of it, It's like God's just pumping in more and more and more and more. I think really, more than the run to figure out what's tomorrow like, it's really about knowing today if you could change everything about yourself and know who you are. Truly.
So basically, as cliche as it sounds, live the day.
More than live your day, but live knowing who you are. And I'll be very honest to tell you, I don't think today, as on the kind of transformation that's happened in evolution, physiologically, human beings are capable of reaching that point to discover the self infinitely. That's why for people talking about souls is a very abstract story. It's like, come on, prove it. I said, yes, I can prove it, but that's not my criteria. I can no, it's more about experience. If you experience, it's reality for you. And that's the fact. I don't think it's really about getting carried away with talks. It's really not about understanding that words can really make you, flow. And then you realize, oh my God, where have I landed? But if it is not experience, that could change everything. Everything, but you're still you. That's when reality hits you hard. That, you know what? It's all meant to be. It's all in you. It's just that maybe someone just opened the knob. And it's just slipped right deep within you. And then you accept life almost as in, I don't know if this is my last life, but I want to live it to the fullest.
Despite what happens to me.
You kick negativity forever.
Excellent.
That's what it is.
That's a great way of viewing life and how to tackle your problems. Sometimes the
it's
hardest thing...
It's actually very simple.
It is, but it is the hardest thing to do as well. Daphne, imagine looking deep within yourself and accepting even the bad parts. Honestly, even...
Forgiving yourself, I think that's very important.
That's why it needs healing, because I think we are all mechanical beings, is more, mind and body.
Right.
And what we do is we change the physiological phenomena of a body.
We're going to find out about how exactly you can change that part of you in just a bit. We're going to take a quick break here on The Breakfast Show. Don't go away, because we're going to open our phone lines so you can actually speak to Rashmi as well as Lee Sim to find out more with regards to this
exactly.
Science,
how does this new science actually solve the problems that you are having, and what kind of problems can it solve? All this right after the break, only on The Breakfast Show.